Hey everybody! I came back again tonight like I said I was. Happy to see everyone. If you are joining me for the first time, um, I am Storm and Rain's dad, and I'm doing some reviews on some videos. I want everybody to watch them with me and chime in. I am definitely going to hopefully have some people coming on and asking questions or keeping the conversation going about big dogs. If you are, like I said, if you are new to us, we talk about big dogs. I'm a regular dog owner. I've got a Cane Corso and a Rottweiler, and so it comes with some challenges. And so we talk about those challenges and how I raise my dogs. I like to watch some trainers, especially those guys that are been around for a while and know what they're talking about. I like to try to incorporate as much of that information as I can and pass it on to everyone else. So tonight was supposed to be a little bit of a collaboration, but we didn't make that happen. So no big deal because we'll be back again. But tonight I want to talk about too much love. So let me turn down this music here. Too much love. Do we give our dogs too much love? And I will say I am definitely guilty. We get these big fur balls that lick us. They are so happy to see us every time we walk into the room, every time we come to home from work. They're there to greet us. And the natural instinct is like, oh, just gotta love my dog. I just want to give that affection back because we're humans. We're used to reciprocating our emotions to each other. So if you're nice to me, I just naturally be nice to you. And I think when you're dealing with dogs that have instincts of dominance and aggression, I think sometimes that can work against us. Do you know what I mean? So if you have a dog that wants to be in charge, loves you, but wants to be in charge, that's may not be necessarily the best thing for your home and your pack. If your dog is doing things that assert their dominance over you and your family members, I think that's kind of could be a problem. Not every dog is like that. Some dogs are, they naturally just want to lead, be led by you. They naturally want to not kick up too much dirt, and they just want to play and just lay in your lap. That's as much as they're interested in doing. But if you have some of these bigger breeds like I do, the Cane Corso, the Rottweiler, those dogs can say, you're not the leader. I'm the leader. And if I'm going to be the leader, that means I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and you can't stop me. So you'll hear me talk a lot about dominance issues and how I've kind of had to deal with it on my own two dogs, especially the Cane Corso. The Rottweiler, she definitely has her moments where she's more dominant. I think she expresses her dominance between the two dogs and even with the little dog that I have. But for the most part, she's a little bit more willing to say, "Let me be second to you, human." She's willing to kind of fall in line. But the Cane Corso is a little bit more headstrong. He wants to make sure that you are the leader. So I think I want to start this live stream off and kind of show you a video that I ran across from Cesar Millan. You guys, if you've watched me long enough, I really enjoy watching Cesar Millan. I think his videos and his approach to how he teaches humans how to interact with their dogs, I think he's spot on. There's very few things that I've seen from him that I think are just not applicable, to everyone that owns a dog. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get him on the screen, and hopefully you guys can see this video. It's a very short. I'm just doing a couple shorts, so I'm not doing a whole lot here. Let's see here. There we go.
So when we meet a dog, most people get excited because they believe that the ritual of meeting should be exciting, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? The dog learned to bark at people every time they meet. So every time they see people passing by, they're going to practice what we taught them. We taught them to be excited to greet, meet, or see humans. See it? So in order for the dog to bark at people, the brain has to be excited. So who creates the excitement?
You do.
I'm going to invite you to practice. Let's say, you move away from your dog 20 times, right? Let's say. I know it's a little bit more than that.
Now he's gonna explain. You know, it's very short. Like I said, this is not like a full 45-minute video, but what he says is I think is really really helpful in this little bitty short 30-second. No, it's like 58 seconds total, but it's super helpful.
Right. But 10 times, make sure you practice no touch, no talk, no eye contact every time you see the dog, right? And then the dog is gonna come to you. You don't, no touch, no talk, no eye contact until the dog is quiet.
No touch, no contact. How many people have moments where you don't touch your dog soon as you see your dog? No eye contact. Wow. I'm guilty, right? Every time I see my dog, I'm like, come here, give me a hug. And I'm playing with them, I'm rubbing them. But do we ever give them a moment to not receive our affection? You know, do we stop for a second and say, hey, ho, no, 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 no. I'm not going to teach you to be overexcited every time I walk into the room. Every time you see a human being, that means to get excited and go for it. So he's advocating for you have moments where you have no touch, no eye contact, kind of almost separating yourself from the natural tendency to interact and play and love on your dog. Last few
And
seconds.
it's calm and it relaxes.
So and that's the key, is waiting till they exhibit the behavior that you are looking for, and then you engage with them. So, you know, if anyone's here on the chat or is on the live stream and have dogs and can tell me how, you know, do you spend time not touching your dog, or do you always touch your dog? Do you always give affection to your dog the moment that you see them? You know, and are they overexcited? I know when I come home from work, you know, my dogs have gotten to the habit of greeting me, but they're not just like, hello. They're just like overexcited. They're knocking each other over. They're jumping on the walls. They're jumping on the door. They're going around in circles, and they're wagging, and they're just like these two big dogs, you know, in a small hallway, they can knock you around, right? Knock you against the wall. So is that what I really want? Or should I walk in the room, walk into my house, going down the hallway, no touch, no eye contact, greet my wife first, or other family members, and then let that energy calm down before I interact with my dogs? According to Cesar Millan, that's a good thing. I have to agree with him. I think when we get our dogs, we're so excited to have our puppy. We're excited to have, you know, our special breed, whether it's a, like I said, Cane Corso, like my dog, or Rottweiler, or even it's the mixed dog. You know, the natural tendency is to love, 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 love. But are we doing harm to our dogs by giving them love without actually associating with the right behaviors? Or are we just teaching them that no matter what they do, they're still going to get love? And I know that sounds like, you know, unconditional love. Like we give each other unconditional love. You know, I love you no matter what. From human to human. But in the dog world, you know, there has to be some boundaries. There has to be some, like, okay, whenever you do something wrong, you don't get that love. You have to be put into a submissive state. You need to be put down for a minute. So it's funny how that it's not a natural thing for us to withdraw affection from our pets, but sometimes it's needful because we may be encouraging the wrong behaviors. So here's another video I wanted to talk about too, from the none other than Cesar Millan.
So when did he bite?
And then he eats. And he bites it. If something spills off the plate and I go to clean it up, like, I mean, he'll do it, but he'd bite me right now. I would have been bitten already.
But one thing you can't lose is your patience. As you look, he's trying to outsmart me here.
So this guy is saying that his dog is biting him, so basically doing a behavior that he doesn't want to happen. And so he's reached out to Cesar Millan, and Cesar Millan immediately says, okay, well, let's go to what's happening when it's time to eat. Feeding time is a very, very important time because your dog is obviously super motivated. They're ready to satisfy that hunger they're having. They're ready to chow down on the food that they know is going to be theirs because, you bought them that special bowl. They got their special area and it's all about them, 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 them. So Caesar Milan is like, okay, hold on. Here's an opportunity for you to say, let me assert my dominance, right? Let me see if I can see if this dog will respect me in a time where it wants the food. It wants to be in control of this whole situation. It wants to control when it's going to eat. Is it going to allow me to put myself in the middle of this and respect that boundary? So check this out.
You know what makes an animal very smart and very successful is his capability to wait. And he knew how to wait.
So this dog is obviously a very small dog, but they still have certain tactics to get what they want, right? So this particular dog is like, I want to eat this food. And then Caesar Milan is like, he put his hand down. He's like, look, I get that you want this, but I'm setting a boundary. You're not going to get this food until I release you. And of course, this dog has probably never experienced this in his entire life because oftentimes the owner doesn't realize, hey, maybe I should, set some boundaries with my dog's feeding time. Should I just let them eat the moment I put the food down and they immediately possess that food? Or do I set boundaries and say, hey, I poured the food, but you must wait until I give you the signal to eat? Just giving that dog the signal that they're not in control of that moment. Because again, these dogs in their mind, they'll take over whatever you allow them to take over. So if you want them to have control over the living room, then they're going to have control over the living room. And whatever that means to your dog, if that means laying on the couch, if that means tearing up the couch, they're going to have, in their mind that, hey, you gave me permission. This is my territory. This is my area. So Caesar Milan is like, listen, you got to take control and let that dog start to respect you as the alpha. So let's watch a little bit more of this.
See, that step back is good. I mind it.
Okay, now the dog has been waiting for Caesar Milan because he knows there's no way I'm going to be able to bite this guy away. Let me just wait him out. How many times have our dog just waited us out because we just didn't have enough time to deal with it? Like, what, I ain't got time to deal with this. But we're not really teaching our dog how to respect us as the pack leader. So Caesar Milan says, look, if your dog is resorting to the tactic of waiting you out, you got to have more time than they do to drive home that message. This is my food that I'm allowing you to have because I love you, but I'm allowing it to, this is not something that you have the right to, and you don't get to bite me to get to your food. No, this is because it's my food, In the wild, it wouldn't work that way. When the alpha is done, then you can come and get your food. But you're not just going to bite the alpha.
That dominates and knows how to wait. That's a very powerful mind. You need to be more patient than them.
That's good.
And
That poor little dog. So look how he looks up. Like, oh my God, He's like, I don't understand. No one's ever stood up to me before. He's like, his poor little mind is breaking right there.
that's how you dominate, with your patience.
There you go. That's
Dominating with your patience. That's a pretty cool phrase. That should be another T-shirt. I'm going to dominate with my patience. Using all the tools that you have to make sure that your dog understands that you are the alpha, whether it's withdrawing some of your affection when you don't need to give them the affection, when they need to settle down and you say, well, how about I not pet you right now until you settle down, or getting to the habit of kind of saying, am I giving my dog affection at the wrong times? Am I training my dog to do the wrong thing? Should I just withdraw some of that affection? And then when the dog is doing what I'm asking them, when they calm down, they're laid down, and they're not running on top of each other, now I'm going to just love bomb them and give them all that love that I've been wanting to give to them. It's not a natural response, not a natural thing for a human to act like that amongst each other. But when it comes to the dealing with your dog, I think it's important to kind of watch how we're giving them that love. And then also when we're giving our dog our food, making sure their food, that we make sure that we're not teaching them to be dominant or take possession of that food. it's an opportunity for you to assert your dominance. And if you have to wait them out until they submit to you, maybe that's what you got to do. Sometimes it only takes a few, especially if you start early. I think the earlier you start training your dog, the better. So you don't want to wait till they're already established themselves and they're like 100 pounds and they can bite your hand before you decide that you're going to make sure that they respect you when it comes to food time. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure there's ways still to handle a dog that hasn't had any structure before, but I'm just saying, how much better is it if they start out that way when they're little puppies, whenever they can't do much harm? Because once it's in their mind, and of course you have to reinforce it, but once you start off on the right foot, they will follow your lead. So just keep that in mind, that these dogs see life very different than the way we do. So I'm coming back for some more of these reviews on these videos. I think there's a lot to glean from a lot of these dog trainers, especially some of these big names like Caesar and Beckman. So we'll be back for some more, and hopefully we're still looking forward to meeting up with Ozzy the Cane Corso. She has a lot to share with everyone, so I'm hoping to set that up very, very soon. I didn't see any comments come through, so thank y'all for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one.